when I start forgetting what God has given me. It's a little trick that I've learned to do to realize that I have everything. Oh yeah, you're looking at a blessed man. A very blessed man. I got it all. I have everything. And here's how I get everything. I'm gonna teach you how to get everything in 5 seconds. All right? Because I can really convince myself, nobody loves me, everybody hates me. I guess I'll go eat worms. I guess I'll just go over in my corner and write one of my other little sermons and nobody loves me. And then I go, no, oh, this is ridiculous. What are you talking about? Not only have I been blessed with so many things, but I do an exercise where I imagine the loss of someone that I love the most. I imagine the loss. You're like, that's very negative. No, watch where it's going to get me, because it's very, very powerful. I imagine, what if I lost Holly? What would I give to have her back? $200? Come on, man. Everything. I'll kill you and take yours if I have to get her back. Everything. Whatever it takes. I'll be, what's the movie, Ransom? I'll be Mel Gibson. I'll be Liam Neeson. I will storm through the gates of hell. I would give everything to have her back. And I have her now. So what do I have? Everything. See how quick that was? I went from like being annoyed, being perturbed, just being all, you know how stupid we can get when we get adjusted to something that we've had access to too long. We get acclimated to what's available. And then we become unaware of how valuable it is because we become too acclimated to what's available. So when it says in verse 4, I got to give you a little bit more about this. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. I realized that their awareness had not caught up with his there-ness yet. He was there, they weren't aware yet. He was no less there because they weren't aware of it. He's standing on the shore, cooking fish, getting ready for them to haul in some more fish. They're gonna have plenty of fish. There's gonna be fish today. But the one thing they couldn't know in that moment was that he was already there where they were headed for, but there was something he wanted to show them before they got there too. And so I look at Jesus in this passage and I realize that it's one thing to look back over my life. I feel like teaching and preaching and shouting and praising today. And I see almost like a sign hanging over every open door in my life. Jesus was here. You know, like almost I think of Jesus as a graffiti artist. You know how they have a tag and they tag when they do it, and Jesus does it legally, but they tag it. I studied a little bit. The first graffiti artist that was recognized for his tag was named Cornbread, and he was really cool. He was in Philadelphia. He hopped over the fence at the Philadelphia Zoo one time when he was 17 and spray painted the side of an elephant, and he tagged it "Cornbread Lives." And I look back over my life now and I see all these tags over not just the open doors and the opportunities God gave me, but even some of the closed doors that God didn't let me go through. And now I look back and I see a tag that says, Jesus was here. I look back over some of the relationships that God brought into my life and some of the ones that I asked him for, and he said, not yet, not yet. I look back over some of the already blessings in my life, and I see that, hey, God has already been working on this for a long time for me. I mean, he's already done so much for me. And the more that I access the already blessings in my life, the more aware I am, note takers, get ready. The more aware I am of the already blessings, the better I can deal with the not yet questions. Preach, verdict! I already am. Isn't this good? To get in a space where you go, wait a minute. Yeah, there are some things that I want God to add to my life. But being blessed is not about what he might or might not add. It's about what I access that I already have. And learning to access what I already have is the process of gratitude. And gratitude is the access point to joy. That's why I love my little exercise, because when I am unaware of a blessing, I feel like it's not there, even though it is. Read the scripture. Jesus was on the shore. They didn't know it. He's there. They're not aware. He can be there, but until you are aware that he is there, it will feel as if he's not. So, the challenge of this season of my life as a grown man is not to look back and say, Jesus was there, but to stand in the middle of my not yet and declare, Jesus is here. I've got to tag it while I'm going through it so I can hold to the truth in this situation, that what I will look back on in my life in the next season and say, God was there. He's here in it right now. But his there-ness always outpaces your awareness, which is how you end up like my dad. And you go, I felt sorry for you. You felt sorry for me. I feel sorry for you. God was working on your dumb butt and you were too blind to see it. God sent an arrogant little 17-year-old punk wearing some Doc Martens to tell you God's going to turn your life around, and you couldn't see it. He was there. You just weren't aware of it. How many of y'all got something you're worried about this week coming up in your life? And I mean this week. I'm not talking about when you turn 94 and will there still be Social Security and will Biden still be president or somebody older. But something this week. All right. God's going to beat you to it. Let me get more specific. Jesus is already there. Oh, that's so nice. Imaginary Jesus is already there. This is the problem with you Christians. You just have this imaginary friend named Jesus that you think is going to work everything out for you. It's not imaginary. It's not imaginary. For me, and I don't know if you could say the same thing, I have more proof that he has been there for me than almost any other person in my life. So if you wanted to convince me that God wasn't real, you should have done that a long time ago, because you're a little late. Because I've already seen the ways that he's made for me. I've already seen the things that he's brought me through. I have already seen him bring water from a rock. I have already seen him. Now high five somebody and say, I already know. So you can't make me doubt him, because I know too much about him. I already know. I'm not studying a book to find out if he's real. I'm not waiting on a scientist to bust open a molecule or split an atom to tell me if Christ lives. I got the tag over my life. Said Jesus lives. If you know he's alive, shout hallelujah! Hallelujah! Come on, give him an already praise. What's an already praise? It's when I praise him situation for a blessing that is already pressed down. Take it together. And roll. Run it, run it. I need to teach, but high five at least 3 people. But you didn't tell me what to tell them. See, I think we need to recognize the connection between appreciating our already as we anticipate our not yet. This is the greatest skill that God can give you to help you fight depression, distraction, discouragement, temptation. See, when you stay in not yet and forget you're already, you go running after stuff that is less than you because you got tired of waiting on something that was not yet ready for you. But when you know who you are, when you know what you've already got, when you know who's already chosen you to be His, called you by name, sealed you with His Spirit, adopted you as His child, you can stand in your already and say like Paul, I don't have it yet. I love that word. I went to therapy and my therapist taught me how to say that word. I'm serious. It helped me. I'll say, I just can't figure it out. And the therapist would interrupt and say, yet. It got on my nerves. I said, I'm not paying you to correct me. I said, I can't figure it out and I haven't figured it out. And the therapist would say, yet. And every time they said yet, it took me back to how many things God had already done for me. And see, my already gave me the balance for my not yet. That's why I want you to imagine things being out of your life that are in your life so you can get back in your already. I drove up to the church today and I was like, oh man, this church, it got so much debt. We just got to pay off all our debt. Oh wait, no, God already paid off our debt. That made me want, now y'all see why I'm in such a good mood preaching today? I preached real good with no debt on my back. It didn't get paid off in those 5 minutes before I came out to preach to you. I just recalled it to my mind and I accessed the already so I could move ahead into the not yet.